13 videos, 13 weeks, 13 questions, 13 challenges, 13 minutes, and 13 seconds. And we are on week, how do I do this? Okay, looks like 5, week 8. We've made it to week 8, which is so exciting. And our question today is, what patterns do you keep repeating? What patterns do you keep repeating? This question is particularly difficult for me to respond to right now because I feel like my answer isn't coming from a healthy space. And I want to have at least one healthier answer where it's not me like self-destructing. So that's the question for today. I don't know how long this video is going to be. Obviously, I want to keep it at the 13 minutes. But I feel like I don't have many words today, which has there's a bunch of different factors that are contributing to that. But I really still do want to figure out how to reflect. So as you navigate this question, as you sit through this question, I want you to consider patterns that you have demonstrated between January and now, patterns that you demonstrated last year, the year before, and the year before. So look over the last 5 years. What are some patterns in the way you speak to yourself, in the way that you look at yourself, in the way that you speak, in the way that you act, in the way that you think? Like, what are some patterns that are still showing up? Some of them could be really good. At the same time, some of them may not be serving you in the best way. So think about the last few years, about what patterns have been showing up over and over. And are they patterns that you want to continue? So here we go. I'm going to be honest as I can be. My immediate response to this question is trusting people, which is why I say that I don't think my answers are coming from the healthiest space. But it's not having the perfect answers or the best answers. I just want to be as honest as I can be. I tend to have my walls up pretty high. People don't think so, but people who know me realize that I have my walls up pretty high, and I can be really hesitant to let new people into my life on a very deep level. I'll be cool with you. Like, we can have cool conversations. We can go out for food. You know, we can go have different experiences. But when it comes to fully letting people in, I keep my walls pretty high. So a pattern that I would say, again, not the greatest, healthiest answer, but a pattern that I keep repeating is trusting people. And in the moment, it feels so good to find community, friendship, space, family. But then it feels so horrible when that trust is broken, that trust is tested. And sometimes it feels easier to just say, I'm not going to trust anybody again. It feels easier to say, I'm not going to let anybody in again. But I know that I was made for community. I was made in community. My family's huge. And I enjoy creating community and creating spaces. So for me to say, oh, I don't want to let anybody in or anything like that, it goes against the things that I'm trying to build. So that's why I have to like work through that. Another pattern that I keep repeating is like fully creating something, building something, starting something from the ground up, and then leaning on people and asking for too much advice. It's something that hinders me because I sometimes go to people who don't fully know me and who don't fully understand the vision and the mission and the calling that has been placed on my life. And then what happens is when I go to these people, regardless of if they're super close to me or not, their word holds value, and it almost goes to war with the things that were already in my mind. So then I start to question and I start to doubt, and sometimes I end up stopping something that I really loved because of the words of someone who shouldn't have held as much value as I allowed them to. So that's also something that I'm trying to figure out. I almost want to start having like advisory boards for different aspects of my life. Like, hey, you two, I'm coming to you guys for finances. That's it. Or you two, I'm coming to you for your advice in terms of business. Even if they aren't business people, it's like, you know, my vision. Does this align with where I'm trying to go? And then obviously having like formal business people too. Having like a board of directors for my life who are spiritually grounded, who have good characters, and who love people well. Because I think those three things combined, plus some other things, of course, but those three things combined can make for a good mind, a good perspective, and a good thought process. So yeah, a pattern that I have is going to people who aren't as close to me, and getting their advice when I really shouldn't. And then their advice weighing my own perspective and my own sense of better judgment. So that's another pattern. What else is there? Like this one's kind of obvious, I guess, but my pattern of self-doubt of like, Danae, you can do it. And then like, Danae, you can't do it. You're not good enough. Like this isn't going to work. And that cycle it's like every day, every moment. And I find myself just questioning. And I'm trying to switch from questioning and being stagnant to questioning and still getting the things done. My favorite affirmation that has been with me for the last like year maybe has been, I can do hard things. There are amazing things that are out there. There are amazing ideas that I have, amazing concepts that can come to life. But I am the one that's standing in the way. So even if I'm tired, even if I'm stressed, even if I'm scared, even if I'm doubting, even if I'm questioning, still do the thing. And that has adjusted my mindset in some areas. Like it's not something that I do every day, all the time. I'm trying to get there. But in the areas where I have said, I am going to achieve this goal, it doesn't matter what happens, it doesn't matter what comes, like still finding everything I need to push through. That has been really, really cool to say, it doesn't matter what comes, we're going to get it done and we're going to push through and we're going to show up. So I hope that that's a pattern that I can implement long term, permanently, consistently, because doubt's going to come. People are going to speak negatively. People are going to say it's stupid. People are going to say it's not for them. And that's okay because it's for somebody. There are so many people on this planet. So many people who we have never had the chance to meet. And it's not even a formal introduction. It's like even just the people that you pass, like at the mall or when you're on a certain highway. Like there are so many more people than people you've ever interacted with one time. Why stop? Why give up when you may not have even reached the right audience? So keep going. And I don't know if that was encouraging to you. It's definitely for me where it's a reminder that somebody can benefit from the things that I have created in a similar way to how I have benefited from it, but they will never be able to benefit from it if I stop. So keep going. So I want to implement this pattern of just still go, keep going, keep pushing, keep showing up, and let go of the pattern of holding on to what other people say, holding on to other people's no's, and instead finding all of those people that say yes and say, I agree, and say, this is for me, this is cool. So I think that's another thing. What else? I want to think of one more. Okay, I'm going to think about a pattern that I want to start. Yeah, let's do that. Pattern I want to start. I do it sometimes, but I want to start affirming people in my circles and in my communities more intentionally. I do it sometimes, but I want it to be that like I affirm like 3 people at least a week, where it's a conversation of I see you, I acknowledge what you're doing, I acknowledge that it's not the easiest thing, I acknowledge that you are struggling and you are trying to figure out how to keep going. I also want you to know that you are seen and your work is valued and you're doing amazing things. So a pattern that I want to start is to affirm people more intentionally, at least 3 people a week, where I just take some time to say, hey, you are seen, you are heard, you are loved, you are appreciated. And even though there are days where you feel like nobody sees you, even if there are days where you feel like it is easier to give up, even if there are days where you feel like it's just not worth it, I want you to know that I see you. And you never know. That could be the thing, the conversation that allows someone to look at themselves and say, hey, I am pretty cool. I am pretty dope. I can keep going. So that's my pattern. So I guess my challenge, which will show up, but I'm making it in real time right now, is what is a pattern that you want to start? And what does it look like for you to start today? For me, it is going to be reaching out to 3 people today and saying, hey, I see you. I think you're doing amazing work. Even though you don't feel great right now, know that greatness is still yours. And whatever that looks like in your life. Yeah. Have an amazing week. Thanks for sticking around as always. And thank you for being a part of the thing that's helping me to keep going, helping me to keep making these videos, because today I wasn't feeling it at all. But as the video went on, we made it through. So subscribe, share with a friend, sit in the question, navigate the question for yourself, figure out what that looks like. And I'm excited to hear. Message me, comment, whatever. I also want to hear your answer to this question of what patterns are you still repeating? Have a good one, y'all.